don't even know if I still have them.
Every time we see each other, it's always you. And then they just sign like.
You're probably scaring them.
No.
They're probably peeing their pants every time you do
If she sees
it.
me first, she does it.
Oh, it's a girl.
She's been doing this for years.
She's probably pretty impressed that a 10th grader would be talking to her. You don't understand how intimidating it is, right? Matt,
I found it.
go throw that away. Get your Matt, pick that up. Go throw it away. Get back to your desk and stop misbehaving. All right, everybody find your desk. Let's go. Get shared. Chop, chop.
I got a chair.
All right. Hey, I'm not going to lie to you and say that what we're doing is quickly done. It is for some. Some people, the answer comes to them pretty quickly, as we saw yesterday. Most of the time, all of these problems require thought. And what I said to you was, I didn't want you to read it and like, well, I don't know what to do here. I wanted you to give it minutes of thought. And if you didn't have it, the answer after minutes, and I wanted you to talk with someone who had figured it out and have them give you a hint so that you can get that whole process and that whole experience. Hey, hoodie's off, gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Get the experience of getting to the answer without being told what the answer is. Yes, today I'm going to have to tell you the answer, but, because we're grading the homework here. But for the next homework, oh, by the way, it's the same thing. We're doing exactly what we did yesterday today. I wanted you to get that experience of thinking about it. All right, what are your questions? Wes?
Questions were just phrased really weird.
They are.
I could do the thing once I figure out what they were saying, but because of that,
And you'll become more adept at understanding what they want after you do a bunch of these.
Yeah,
Okay. Any specific questions?
Number 7.
Okay, so you're told that you're starting off with a square. Is it ABCD?
Yes.
So you've got square ABCD, and we're told that each side is 4. It ends up being that 4 isn't even used in this. And number 7 says it's equidistance from AB and BC. So if I just look at AB, if you're equidistance from AB, that would be what?
Oh, you drew your square different than I did.
Well, remember, polygons all go alphabetically as it's written, A, B, C, D. Either clockwise, or, it doesn't matter, but you have to go clockwise or counterclockwise. You can't go A, B, C, D. You can't do that. All right, well, that's probably your problem. For number 7, it says equidistance from AB, I'll make it dark here, AB and BC. AB and BC. So if you're equidistant, that means you're between the two. So if you're between the two, I'll make it dotted, you would end up being that dotted line. That dotted line is between AB and BC. In other words, it's the angle bisector of ABBC, or the angle formed of ABC. But if you wrote your letters incorrectly, then you would definitely get the wrong answer there.
What did it mean by this?
Say again?
What did it mean by describe them? Like, say what they look like?
Angle bisector. That's the description. I'm okay with, like, what we did yesterday, hot dog slice as well too. So if you had some descriptive words for that, right?
My descriptions were summer sausage, circle, hot dog, circle, big square, rectangle, action sign, and nether portal.
Action sign?
Like one of those things that goes action.
Oh, right. The movie. You know why they do that?
No.
Anybody know?
To mark like the time, so like, because it's got a time stuff on the board, like.
You may not know this, but when you make a movie, there's 2 people that operate well, there's more than 2, but there's 2 basic people that operate 2 pieces of equipment. Guess what 2 pieces of equipment they need?
The camera.
And
The
microphone. You've probably seen someone literally holding a microphone. They are separate from each other. Like you have a person has a machine that records just the sound, and you have a person over here, unlike our cameras, just records the pictures. Well, how do they come together?
They make something.
It's called post-production after they film, right? Then they literally go into a room and they got to marry those two things together. Well, how do they do that?
They
Actually,
use,
they see where
So the
it's
reason why they have the
ready.
thing is because they say, you know, it's visibly written on it, so it'll say, you know, Act 1, Scene 4, right? And then what they do is that what happens is that sound can be seen on the software that they use for the sound. Like you've ever done any movie editing, you know, the thing that goes up and down, that's the sound. Well, they can see the very clearly. And then on the film, visually, they can see when the thing comes together like this. And so that's how they match the two things together. And that's why they do that.
That's sick.
Yeah.
So, for numbers 2 and 3.
So Chris has got us back on track. Thank you, Chris. So for numbers 2 and 3.
So like it's just like points 2 centimeters away from point P.
Correct.
2. That would form a circle, right?
That would form a circle with a radius of 2.
Sphere.
Well, does it say on a plane?
No, that's why it's a sphere.
So it would be a sphere. Okay.
And the number 3 is just to be.
But you're right, Chris. It would be a circle. But since it's not, you're not told that it's on a plane, then it's a sphere.
And number 3 is
Uh,
hot dog.
I said a hot dog.
No, it's a meat steak, not a
Oh my
hot dog.
gosh.
Number 3 is a hot dog.
Given line H, what is the locus of 2 centimeters away from line H? Does it say on a plane? It doesn't. So this is going to be a hot dog.
No, it's a meat steak.
Same thing.
No.
How generic can I get with my terms to describe the shapes? Like
There are
Just you.
most of these are
Be drinking a
once you get past question 4, they're lines of some sort of rays. 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all rays of some sort or lines.
so no matter how big it is, as long as it's
9 and 10 ends up being planes. And I gave you all the way up to 10. Okay. Any other specific questions? All right. I will be entertained by your entertaining answers. Pass those all to the left.
Oh,
Your
no.
taxes, human beings.
You don't need any more taxes.
Tom.
Area does not cover.
Stop playing video games. Get your money.
Double next time.
There's video
Let's
games.
raise our
Where are
houses
the
and
video
steal their
games?
cash to make us forget.
I
Let's
haven't touched your
calculate.
video games.
I haven't played one in a couple days.
Oh, that's
Couple
sad.
days.
I played Minecraft last night.
No, I'm gonna be playing away. It's
I
raining.
didn't play video games in
I can't cap.
Ethan, it starts raining. Well, time to go.
Oh,
Well, I have all the homework.
Take out your phone, play Minecraft.
Now you do.
You and green pens.
I have all my color pens. I want the Joker colors of everything.
I can put some
Green or-
the next time around my video game.
You should come to school wearing Joker clothes.
Dude, next Halloween, when we gotta dress up for Halloween, I'm totally gonna be the Joker or the Mad Hatter or Sherlock Holmes. Actually, I have two choices.
One of
Just
these.
put them all together.
You're too boring. Merry Christmas.
Look at 2 of them. Look at
What is
another
that?
Batman. 2 of them are changing like Batman.
What is that?
It. That's what happens after I buy something for $5 to get 3 red pens because I love those red pens. I wind up with a box full of colors that I don't ever want to use ever again.
You can't just buy that.
You can't buy those red ones. They don't sell them. They will sell the black ones and the blue ones, but they don't sell the red ones. The only way you get the red ones if you buy all those colors.
Yeah, let me see your colors.
Open that up, I guess I'll have
Seth,
Yeah?
let us see the color.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Don't
you
do
can
it.
touch it with your eyes, okay? That's all.
I know, I just wanna see.
All right.
to. That's how you immediately become everybody's friend. You get like.
We're such nerds. We're
No joke. Today will be doubly as hard as yesterday. No joke.
Oh, man.
All right, write down your homework. It's 1 through 10 again. We are going to finish class yesterday. I thought we'd finish a whole lot earlier. We will today. I want everyone to absolutely 100% effort. Like you're gonna open up your books. You're gonna try the homework in class. You can ask questions. I'm not gonna give answers in the sense of, hey, here's the answer number 4, but I will give you hints. I'm going to show you a procedure today. It's not guaranteed to give you the answer, but it is a method to at least give you I don't know, some guidance on how to find the answer. The book doesn't give you any of this. It just basically says, hey, here's the problem. Good luck with it. So I'm going to try to show you at least some thought processes behind how to get to an answer from these problems. All right, we okay, everybody? All right, here we go.
Just okay.
So these are, once again, more problems dealing with the locus, okay? Last class, I gave you the definition. Locus is a set of points that satisfy one or more conditions. The plural is either loci or loci. And then the examples I gave you yesterday was, I gave you a point A. This was like, was our homework. They give you some conditions, set of points that are on a plane 1 centimeter away. The key here is when it says a plane, it means it's flat. So if we go 1 centimeter away from point A, then we made that, we finally figured out we made that circle, okay? If it wasn't on a plane, then it makes a sphere, okay? So the answer to these problems is, what is the shape that is made? So in this case, it makes a circle. The second one I gave you, this is not box 3, by the way. I just didn't change that. This is from yesterday. Now I take away the word plane, and instead of making it a point, I put in a segment. And therefore, we are allowed to go both top, bottom, in and out as well, too, and at angles, as long as you're 1 centimeter away. And occasionally you would think that you get the cylinder shape, but if you're 1 centimeter away from AB, then you're also out from A and out from B, and that's where you get these two hemispheres that would form, and this is your class concept. All right. Those are actually the easy ones. Last night for homework, those were the easy ones. Tonight, they're the challenging ones. So I'm going to give you 2 of them, and that's it. And then we'll do homework. Okay. All right, so write this down. I said the plural was loci or loci, right?
Loki.
Right, loci or loci, right? If you put a definition on that, if locus was 1 set of conditions, well, then this is going to be 2 or more conditions. Tonight for homework will all be 2 or more conditions. Last night, you only had 1 condition. Give me the set of points that were a centimeter away, that sort of thing. Give me the points that are equidistant from these 2 segments. Now they're going to give you 2 or sometimes more than 2 conditions. And it enters a whole world of pain since there's going to be 2 conditions.
Yes, I love pain.
Okay.
You're a masochist.
All right.
The masochist.
I'm a
That is literally the definition of masochism.
I know.
All right.
I would much rather be on your side of this and be assigning the harder homework.
All right, here we go. So I'm going to give you the same thing we did yesterday, but instead of there being 1 condition, there's going to be 2 or more. So here's your example. Now stop what you're doing and watch. This one requires a lot of thought. So I still have a given. I still have a conditions. Your answer is your loci or loci. All right. So I'm going to have 3 coplanar non-collinear points. 3 coplanar. That means they all live on one plane, but they're non-collinear. That means they don't make a line. 2 of them can make a line, but all 3 together. The conditions, I said there will be 2 or more. Notice there are 2 conditions. The points that are 1 centimeter away from A, let me highlight them so you can see them. And the second condition is they're equidistant from B and C. They're equidistant from B and C. Okay? How do you solve this? Here is my suggestion. The loci or the loci right here will be the combination of the 2 conditions. So one way of tackling this and try to wrap your head around both of those at the same time is do 1 at a time, literally draw it, and then figure out where, if I drew the 2 together, where would the intersection points be? I'll say that again. The technique for this, when you have more than 1 condition, is to draw each condition separately. And then you can look at the 2 pictures and you'll say, hey, where would, if I combine the 2 pictures, where would the intersection lie? So let's do that. What's my first, what's my given is, I need 3 coplanar non-collinear points there. Is that the only way to draw it? Is that the only way to draw 3 non-collinear, non-coplanar points? I'm sorry, 3 coplanar, non-collinear points. There, I said it right.
No, that's not.
That is not the only way, and that's where the pain enters. This is one of an infinite number of ways to draw it. So how in the world do you deal with that? We'll deal with it after we go for this one example. Okay? But I do want you to keep in the back of your mind, this is one of an infinite number of ways to draw ABC. Okay? I said what we're going to do is we're going to do each one of these conditions separately. So that will be 1, 2 of these that I need to draw, and a third one where we put the 2 together. Who's confused?
So you have to draw.
I'm going to draw the red one right here. I'm going to draw the purple one right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at both of these and say if they were squeezed together.
Them right there.
Now I'm not going to draw both of them, only the parts that would intersect. Because the intersection would be the Loci.
Okay.
Okay?
Got it.
Yes, everybody?
Yes.
Hey, we did this one yesterday. Where are the set of points a centimeter away from A?
And it's also-
Okay, there we go.
it's not a semi-
Well, you get the idea.
This.
All right. Purple.
Let's actually see.
Where would I be equidistant from B and C? I would be between B and C, right? I'm ignoring A because it doesn't say anything about A. It just says, where are you equidistant from B and C? That would be a line.
You could make hot dog.
No, a hot dog would not. If I make the hot dog, I'll make the hot dog. Well, there's your hot dog. This point isn't the same distance from B as it is from C. Fight me. All right.
You get a
What?
lie.
You get the idea.
Everyone's thrashing.
All right.
It's not a hot dog.
Okay, we good for those 2 ideas right there? My third one, I'm going to squeeze them together. If I squeeze them together, where would the red touch? If I squeeze those together, where would the red touch? Because that would be the Loci. How many places would it touch?
One.
If I squeeze this onto that, how many places would the red touch? Matt, why do you have 3 fingers up?
There's 3. We would go through the bottom, through the center, through the top.
The center isn't part. The first one was the set of points a centimeter away from A.
Okay, 2.
2 points. Everybody got it? 2 points. So if I had to draw it, it would look like this. And the 2 places it would touch where I've made this blue, right there. Do you agree? So the Loci is 2 points. Or is it?
God, that's deep. Is it? What is it?
I'm going to go back to the very first thing I asked you. And I said to you way back when I drew this, let me go back to this. What did I say about this diagram? It's one of an infinite ways of drawing it. So for this one example, how many places would it touch?
2.
Okay, there's one possible answer. But where else could A be? Literally anyway. If it's over here, how many places would it touch?
None.
It would touch 0. So that's a possibility. So 2 or 1 or, I'm sorry, 2 or none, or is there a way to move A so that you would only touch it in one spot?
Yeah.
So guess what the real Loci actually is?
0, 1, or 2.
And there is your visual of what we just talked about.
God, that's painful.
So the issue is you'll be doing these and you'll be really happy because you figured it out. There's 2 points, but you won't include all the possibilities. So before you do that, you got to stop yourself each step of the way. And you got to ask yourself, did I just draw the diagram the only way it can be drawn? Maybe there's more ways of drawing it. So these are a bear to do tonight because you got to consider every single possibility.
So what's the answer?
Right here.
2, 1, or none.
So the answer is 1, 2, or no points. That is the
Do you
Loci.
know where any bridges are?
Well, we do live in Colorado. We do have pretty high bridges. There's one southwest of us that's pretty darn tall. All right, yes, correct, right? These will be challenging and hard. All right, I said we're only gonna do 2, we just did 1. All right, here we go. The one that's in front of you, the only one that's in front of you, and where we'll stop. All right, Danny, read the given.
3 non-collinear points, A, B, and C.
What does it mean, non-collinear? What word do you recognize in non-collinear?
I remember the word, I forgot.
Which word do you recognize? Non means no. What other word do you recognize? Co means with.
Oh, it's 2 lines.
Where do you see 2?
Oh, 3.
Where do you see 3?
I don't know.
So what words do you recognize in non-collinear? You already said non, no. Co means with. What's the other word up there? Non-collinear. What?
I don't.
Yes, you do. You're just giving up. You said non means.
But you don't have any.
Non means. Co means with. What's the last word here? And that means you know all 3 words. That means that the 3 points are not on the same line. Non-collinear. Co meaning with, but you're not with. But you are. Now, you potentially could make a line, but in this case, you're told no. That's what the non means. So I got 3 points that don't make a line. Can you draw that picture, Danny? 3 points that don't make a line. Draw it. Come up here, draw it. I need 3 points that don't make a line. And label them A, B, C. Draw 3 points that don't make a line. Okay, yes, no?
Yes.
Good job. Sit down. All right. There are 3 points that don't make a line. Is that the only way to draw those 3 points? And therein lies the problem. You're going to have to draw 3 points that don't make a line. It's one of an infinite possible combination. All right. Let's look at our conditions. Matt, read one condition.
The set of points 1 centimeter away from A
Okay. Second condition.
and equidistant from A, B, and C.
All right, so there are my 2 conditions. So we're going to take Danny's input, which was 3 non-collinear points, A, B, C. My technique is this. Danny, you listening? I'm going to do 1 picture for the first one, red. One for the second one, purple, and I'll do 1 for the 2 combined together. That's my technique. Because it's too hard to think of both of those conditions at once. All right, read again, Matt, the red.
The set of points 1 centimeter away from A.
Well, what would that be?
Sphere.
Okay, if it's not on a plane,
Oh, no,
it's
no,
a sphere.
Oops.
No, it doesn't say on a plane. Previous one said on a plane.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a sphere. Are we okay with that,
Yes.
everybody? Danny? Okay, don't say yes if you mean no. You mean yes or no, Danny? Okay, good. It's not a circle. It's a sphere. You just need to draw a sphere. How do you draw a sphere? A circle with an ellipse through the middle. Okay, we good? Purple, Matt?
Equidistant from A, B, and C.
So I'm going to draw another ABC right here. Why did I draw a plane?
Why did
Why did I draw a plane?
plane.
So because you need a line to go.
It doesn't say non-coplanar, so that means they're on a plane.
You can draw a line on set plane.
I still need my 3 points, right? There's my 3 points. But 3 points live on a plane. What do I have to make?
A line.
A line.
Has to be equidistant from it. Where would that line be?
Going right through the middle towards you.
And this is why, Chandler, you amaze me sometimes. Do you see that? That's what I got to draw.
How?
Well, exactly. How do we draw that?
Draw a line to the middle and then a dotted line through the back.
How is this possible? This is some
Perspective.
sort of sorcery.
You see what I did?
That's pretty.
That's literally what he said to do.
Aren't you in the middle class? Yeah.
Now, the argument here is that we just did a 3-dimensional shape in 2 dimensions. It's hard to see, but that's what you would have to draw. Hey,
See, we draw
here is the red condition. Here's the purple condition. What we have to do to find the Loci is to push those together. Where would everything intersect? Chris?
Yes. Quick question here. So basically, if it doesn't say it's on point, then every single one of them is going to be 3D.
It could be. Could be, right? You have to assume that they could be in 3 dimensions. All right?
What do you call this? What the sphere is on? Because it's
The
not.
sphere is in space.
Okay, space. I was.
The final frontier.
So I'm going to take this picture and this picture, squeeze them together. Danny, look at the board. It's not on your paper. I'm going to take this picture and this picture, squeeze them together. This picture has a line. This picture has a. Where would they touch?
And probably right, like.
Where would they touch?
Below A,
Would the red line right here touch the sphere? Yes or no?
probably.
Could it?
It's possible.
How many places? How many places? Chris went with 1.
Would you do 3 because?
Well, remember, we're 1 centimeter away, so the only thing we're including is not the inside of the sphere. The inside of the sphere, like right next to A, is not 1 centimeter away. So we're talking about the skin of the sphere.
2.
So it's like a blow-up beach ball type thing?
Yeah.
So how many places would the line intersect the beach ball? Chris said 1. Do you agree?
I'd say probably about 2.
Could it touch in 3 places?
Mhm.
How? Tell me how. I only got this little tiny sphere here, so it's not very great. But here's my sphere. It's over here. And this is pretty close to the picture, right? The outside of the sphere represents everything that's 1 centimeter away from A. This represents equidistance from A, B, and C. When I bring these 2 together, how many places will it intersect? That's as best I can do. How many places?
2.
Or,
Oh, I get it. 1.
if I move A, remember, Danny drew this picture, not me. Nowhere in here did it say that the A, B, and C are a certain distance away from each other. It could be tangent, or it could be, if I draw A way over there, will they intersect? They won't. So what's the answer here?
0 or 2.
0, 1.
Could be tangent,
Oh, 0, 1, or 2.
0, 1, or 2. This is hard. Danny, you had a question. What was your question?
How exactly did you get that?
So this right here represents where the 3 points live. Any 3 points live on a plane. Do you have to draw the square? No. I drew it so you can understand why this is comes out like this. And I'm going to go back to what is the actual answer? None of this. The answer is literally, here's the answer to the first condition, red. Here's the answer to the second one, purple. And the question is, how many places when you squeeze these together would they touch? Well, it all depends where A is. You drew this, Danny, not me, right? If instead, Danny, you would have drawn A right here, and B and C are right here, then your line would be about right here. That would be about equidistance. And your sphere would be right here. These don't touch. The way you drew it, here's equidistance A, B, and C. Here's the sphere. Oh, this is hard, right? It would look something like this. So they would touch in 2 spots. But I equally could have drawn A anywhere, way up there, or I could have drawn it so that it only touched in 1 spot. You have to draw what is necessary to get to the answer. And the answer is sphere, line, how many places do they intersect? Well, they can intersect in 0 spots if A is way over here. If they're right next to each other, then the line would go through the sphere. Remember, we're not talking about the insides of the sphere, because condition 1 said all the points that are 1 centimeter away from A. That does not include this point right here. It includes just the skin of the sphere, because those would be the collection of points that are 1 centimeter away from A. And the final thing is, well, what do you want me to do, Mr. C? I want you to be able to take this condition and this condition, put them together in your head, and come up with the final answer, which, not to beat a dead horse, is what? The Loci is 1, 2, or
0, 1, or 2.
0, 1, or 2. Okay? So 1, 2, or no points. Oh, absolutely. How did I start the class? I said it's going to be very challenging. I said we're going to do what? Every problem. I said 5 minutes. We're going to try. We're not going to read it like I had no idea.
Try.
What was my technique? No, what's my technique? I'm going to draw one picture for every single condition. Do you have to do that? No, you don't. I mean, some people may be able to read this and come up with the answer. But for most of us, we have to be able to visualize what in the world is going on here. So my technique is draw one condition, draw the second condition, and then you either draw the two together if you have to. Most people could probably take this picture and this picture in their head and simply understand what's going on. The last thing I just want to add is this. Once you make your decision of where A, B, and C are, you've got to remember, unless it specifically said where A, B, and C are, you have to account for the fact that A, B, and C could be anywhere. And that's usually where the mistakes will come from. All right.
Are we being tested on this?
We are absolutely. Okay. So I will choose a medium one to put on the test. Okay. This is a medium one, by the way. This one is easily done. By the way, none of you guys are having problems with the hot dog one from yesterday. You immediately said, oh, that's the hot dog. So we went from I'm clueless on this to, oh, it's a hot dog in one day. My claim is after we do a couple of these tonight for homework, you'll be equally on the medium ones and the easy ones. It'll be easy as well, too. Hard ones are always going to be the more challenging ones. Loci is the answer, correct. What's in yellow there is the answer. So it's going to say tonight for homework, describe what it makes, right? What does it make? It makes 1, 2, or no points. That's all you need for your answer. By the way, on the test, I don't need to see any pictures. Pictures aren't part of the answer. Pictures are how you get to the answer. Some people can literally, not me, can read the whole darn thing and do the whole darn thing in their head. And I agree, it can be done. Some people have a good spatial sense. Anybody ever taken an IQ test? They love these things. Not necessarily like this. But they have you do something in your head spatially.
Can we take
Move this object to the left, to the right, flip it around. What would it look like? Some people can read and do that whole thing in their head. Others of us are like, wait, I need to draw it.
Is there any IQ tests like online?
Is there what?
Is there IQ tests online?
There are plenty of ones that purport to be an IQ test, and they're really just some internet, hooky. I would be careful if you ever took an IQ test online and they gave you a number and then you said, "Whoa, gosh, look, I'm a genius," or I'm dumber than a rock. Don't do that. There are official ones. There's a society. It's called MENSA, Mensa, and if you think you are smart, you can ask to take a test from them, and they will tell you if you're smart. IQ test doesn't mean anything other than it's a number, right? There's plenty of people that have average IQs that are very successful in life, and there's plenty of people that have high IQs that aren't successful in life as well too. So IQs are not determinant of your future, but
at the end of the day, nobody knows who got the highest IQ score, but probably me.
There is direct causation between your ability to do challenging mathematical work and high IQs. That's true, right?
Yeah.
But for what you guys are doing, average, you'll be perfectly fine. Not that you guys are average. All right.
We're below.
I'm below.
As soon as those words started coming out of my mouth, I was like, oh, I just dig myself a deep hole. How am I going to get out of this one?
So how are you going to get out of
I didn't do it very well. All right. Astonishing is not a number.
Astonishingly low.
Okay, open up your books. We're all going to try this. We got 15 minutes left of class. We can do majority of it in 15 minutes. I said that we weren't going to read the text and say, I don't know. You're going to give it some thought. If you want a hint, I will give you a hint. But I'm not going to tell you how to do it. So this whole thing is, I don't know, you mess with it. You try it. You get comfortable with in the Army, we had an expression, and it said, "Hey, you gotta embrace the suck," right?
Embrace.
And so what it meant was you did these challenging things. I mean, like physically challenging, mentally challenging. And it was painful in lots of ways. Once you get used to doing something challenging, then that becomes your normal, and you're like, okay, it's going to be hard, but I'll just do it, right? Quitting is always an option. It's just never the best option.
Yeah, it's the best option.
When you're lazy, it is.
That is the definition of lazy.
That's what me and Chad were.
Yeah, I did the first problem, like when A, B, and C, and I quit.
Now open up your book and do the rest.
I suppose.
All right, now open up your book and get started. That wasn't a suggestion, that was an order.
Order.
Right.
So for number 2, couldn't you say that if you aligned it to circle, but then they play pressure on all the points?
What page?
407. Couldn't the 2 circles then play each other in like all the points they have? Because if you line 2 circles up, right?
Co-planar, so they're on a plane, that means they're flat, right? Okay. Number 2, 2 circles.
Couldn't you like?
Does it say where the circles are?
No. So couldn't you like match them up perfectly?
And then therefore they would have,
infinite touching each other?
I like your thoughts. I like your thought.
Okay.
The book didn't even have that as an answer, but you are correct. The book
No,
is
I
wrong.
think we're supposed to do one for each of those, like draw what you're.
It says describe the possible intersections of the figure's name. Doesn't say draw. It just says, oh, I'm reading classroom exercises.
Yeah.
Sorry. Were you reading?
2.
You were too? Both of us screwed up.
Yeah, I know I feel.
Oh my god.
But you are correct.
I have been doing classroom.
You're all dumb. What the heck?
We were just talking about taking IQ tests.
Wow.
I'm
I'm
also-
waiting.
It says draw a new circle for each part.
There's a famous, have you ever heard of the comic strip The Far Side? All right, I have to show you this.
Exactly. You see why I quit?
Yeah. I got this question 7 on classroom exercise.
So I said,
When you get the
No.
question wrong, then
no, the written text.
That's a waste of paper.
here.
I said gun.
What
I've done that.
I feel like everybody does that.
Everyone's done it at some point.
That's like a rite
My
of
dad says
passing
that all the
as a
time. He
child.
says I need to go there.
Far Side was 80s, right? And it was very popular, and the guy was very talented. Very talented.
My parents have a book
Yeah, I don't know
of
what it
the
is.
comic strip Nerds in Hell. Where it's just them
I've
all
never seen that.
nerds now.
Any Far Side nerds?
Yeah, Far Side Nerds in Hell. It's just what
He liked to do a lot of stuff like with cats and cows and. Hey, seriously, honest
I gave
suggestion.
my book to you.
Get your book out. Let's go. If you're using a book together, then push your desk together and.
There is
do
a
it together.
library signatures.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And the light.
Yes, I have.
Danny,
I've been all about.
all right, you need a hint for number 1.
Yes, sometimes one.
All right,
I drew a circle.
Chris, that's good because it says draw a new circle O. So then place 2 points, A and B, outside O, so that the locus of points on O are equidistant from
I
A
did
and
two
B.
wrong, so I gave
Equidistant means the same distance. All right. And then what it's asking you to do there is it's saying, draw it so that that would result in either 2 points of intersection
That was free.
or 0 points or 1 point.
So you're supposed to.
So I got 2 things. I got 2 shapes. What are the 2 shapes? I got a and A, and it's circle O. What's the other shape?
Right, just.
Where are you getting triangle?
I don't know.
So how, just read it. Where are you getting a line? So if you have 2 points, it says draw 2 points, A and B, outside the circle I did. So my 2 points are outside the circle. And then it gives you 3 things you're supposed to do. Draw the picture so that the intersection of these 2 things results in 0 points of intersection, 1 point of intersection, or 2 points of intersection. So, Danny, as I drew it, look at the board. As I drew it, how many places do they intersect? Where do you see that?
Oh, they don't intersect.
So guess which one I just did? I did 1, A, B, or C. Look at the book.
I think you did B.
I did B. You get to do A and C now. You're going to take this drawing right here and draw it in such a fashion that these 2 shapes intersect in 1 spot or in 2. That's A and C.
But, so you want to put the dots, points, equidistant from the circle as well, right?
It says, so that, then place 2 points, A, B outside, so that the locus of the points and circle O, I'm sorry, let me read again. So that the locus of the points on C and equidistance from AB. So, correct.
But how would you do A and C?
There's no C. It's A and B.
No, there's a C. It says 1 point.
Where are you reading? We're doing 1.
Oh, wait, I think I know how to do number 1.
Where do you see C?
Are you looking at the classroom
No, I'm on
exercise?
grade. It says right here.
I am too.
Oh, no, like on the A, like on the problem 1, there's A, B, and C.
Oh, okay. It's like, where's point C? Yes. So, how would you draw this so that they intersected at 1 point?
Wait, I think I know how to do it.
Could you like draw a in
Danny's
the line and then
this
like
is
That's how you draw it. Danny, what?
You just turn the line circles.
How?
So it's like connecting circle.
Draw.
Okay.
Wes is hung up on the equidistant. I'll show you what that means here in a second.
I am on the one.
Yeah, but then if it's a line, it would continue on over here. So how many places would it intersect?
2.
Well, isn't that one of the answers?
Yeah.
Well, then you got one of them. And then you're left with 1. How would, that's the part you gotta figure out.
Off the front.
We need.
We are going to 10.
I don't think that works.
No, R and S are equal.
Yeah.
There's a portal in the door right here. Because it's not
Okay,
the
there.
front, it's not the front.
R and S
Right
needs
here.
to be equal distance.
I don't think that works.
So the equal distance from M and N is here,
Oh,
and then the equal distance is.
Yeah, I agree, Wes. It's just confusing how they work.
That's why I couldn't do last time.
It's just this. I mean, it's this. There's your second one, and your third one is this touches that one spot.
Yeah, it's the.
What it's saying is that where it touches, look up here, where it touches, if this is that third one, that these 3 are equidistant from each other. And that's equidistant for that, that's equidistant from that sort of thing.
It's just weird and really weird.
I would have left off the word equidistant.
So it like confuses me.
That's a lot. That's 2B. You get a 2C. Zero. So it's strong. There. Now you get to do it. You gotta figure it out, you said. Figure it out.
Just figure it out.
What is that? Yes.
Oh, I know how to do it.
How would
The
you
line
get
you just
from
wrote?
that line? But the 2 circles. Yeah, you have to have.
We have a word for this.
Inscribed circles.
Okay.
That's not inscribed, it's described.
Those are called
That is.
concentric.
Okay.
And then these would just be intersecting.
No.
Concentric.
Oh, third one, tangent. We did that one. So these are two that are tangent. And then we had that internally tangent, externally tangent as well too. So this is internally or externally. And then internally tangent would be
Essay,
like,
it's a resume. You're literally writing a resume. Essays and resumes are completely different.
what do you say, Matt?
They're trying to say that resumes are essays.
No, that's not what we said at all.
We're saying the
Basically, what you have
assignment is an essay.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Nancy,
Not the papers.
I am so small brain, you cannot,
not
you have to
doing
stoop to my level to comprehend.
There's too many parts.
There's lots. There's 10 of them. That's why we're doing much of this in class.
There's
So
10 times 3.
there's only the first 4 have A, B, and C.
But 3 and 4 have ABCD.
Okay.
Consider
That's
the
just-
following.
Yeah, but here's the deal. It doesn't literally say to draw any of this. Now,
Yeah.
granted, most of us are going to draw something
The
together.
first 2
I
said
did.
draw.
No, Danny, you're so small brain.
but the rest
we
of
all
them
have
don't.
to get up to your level.
And it doesn't. Oh, yeah, you're right. It doesn't.
Yeah, but 5
I
through 10
burned the
say
rest
draw
of
the
the class
diagram.
and just called you smart.
Yeah, and if the diagram is a circle, you draw a circle. Pick one. I'll do it with you.
3 and 4. All
Every
It
parts.
says
part.
1,
Now, okay, 3.
3. All right, let's do 3 together.
I mean, just because I'm too lazy to actually think through it, so.
All right, number 3. Consider the following problem. Given points D and E, what is the locus of points 1 centimeter away from D and 2 centimeters away from E? All right, so they give you the steps A, B, C, D. Those all just get you to arrive at the answer. So A says the locus of points it's literally having you do the steps that we did. It's not saying that there's 4 different problems there. There's just one problem there, and the answer D is going to be the loci. Okay, so part A says just do that first condition. The first condition is what's the locus of points 1 centimeter away from D? What would that make? A circle. Okay, well that didn't take you that
So
long.
3A is circle.
3A is circle with a radius of 1,
Wouldn't B be a circle too?
with a radius of
2.
with 2. So I'm going to draw A and B. Remember, there's an infinite possibilities of where I put A and B, right? So here's the locus for A, and then I got to make it double for B. Here's the locus for B. Is that part B? Yeah. What's C say? Draw diagrams to show the 3 possibilities. Okay. What are the 3 possibilities for that? Well, there's one of them right there. What's the next one?
It could be A could be on the inside.
Okay. There, yeah. That would, okay, so A could be on the inside. It would look like that. There's one. That's actually
in the middle.
That's actually the same as this one. So basically, how many points does it intersect at?
0.
1, it can.
No, on this picture, here's one possible.
None.
Well, even if you put yours on the inside, how many places would it intersect?
So 0,
It's
1,
it's the same idea.
So 0.
But if I move this over slightly, it could touch, or it could touch in. That's D. And by the way, this is the one that we did sort of halfway in class. The only difference was we had a line.
We could draw all 3.
It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that at all.
Then what?
What's C?
C.
See, how
It says draw the 3 possible things that could happen. Well, this could happen. This could happen.
Yeah, so we have to draw
You
3
just
of
said-
them.
Okay, I just did it in 5 seconds.
Yes, but you just
you
said
said
no.
we didn't have to draw it.
Okay, I lied. Yes.
How do you set up number 2?
Number what?
Number 2.
What is it asking you to draw? Read it.
I drew 2 parallel.
You did good. Did you label one M and one N?
Oh. And then like
Now it says to do what?
it says put 2 points that are equidistant.
Put 2 points R and S so that the locus of points equidistant from N, that means all the points that would be equidistant from M and N, is also equidistant from R and S.
And I put a line.
Yes, you will, to answer your question.
Thank you.
How would a computer make this easier?
No, I'm talking about like another problem.
If it gave me the answers,
No, we can type up.
Or they have us doing this.
Yeah, because we're not.
And
So I can't.
when they tell you,
Then we have to write on Mars.
does it say something?
Even though they don't have paper on Mars.
This what it's saying. All of these are
I'm not just trying to play
all that.
TV on Mars. But you don't have
This-
paper.
So it's saying part A is 3 centimeters away from it.
It's like
A circle. So make a circle on it.
We can just trace something.
That's part A. Part B was, what are the points 1 centimeter away from K?
We're gonna do crazy.
That's your hot.
No, on Mars, there's no.
I know it's barely.
And then what are the 3 possibilities that can happen?
You're still winning, right?
And that's where I'm.
it wouldn't destroy the.
Then I use.
It's the one.
Say that.
The one.
Okay, because you have 2 lines on the outside, you get 4. If there was just 1 line, it would be 3 possibilities. You got 2 basic lines. I'm just gonna draw half of it. Here's the hot dog slice top and bottom.
Yeah.
Now, drag a circle. The circle could touch no, is 1. The circle could touch 1, right? There's 2, so 1, 2. The circle could touch, I put 2 here. 2, keep dragging it down, the circle could touch 3. If I make the circle,
Oh, tangent to the bottom line.
right? I'm horrible at art.
Yeah.
4, and then the circle could touch
Oh, 4.
your 5th one.
Okay, that's.
Don't look at my drawing. Good Lord, that was bad.
This is why we're visualizing in the
This
mind.
is why I can't read PowerPoint, because I'm such a bad artist.
You know, my favorite thing, I don't know if you.
I only had one math teacher that was a really talented artist. And boy, could that guy draw diagrams. They were just beautiful, and he could do it effortlessly.
That's nice. The mind, you can always draw your most perfect circle.
Well, in my mind, that's why I knew the answer to that one real quick. I mean, I can do it in my head, and I know perfectly, it looks perfect in my mind, but my hand and my mind just don't link up very well.
Yeah, it turns out the math.
I mean, this is why there are athletes, there are artists, there are thinkers. I'm more on the thinking side than the athlete or the artist side.
I am.
And this is why in school we encourage, those 3 things: thinking, artists, and athletes.
I like that. About
All right, Bree, you still online?
Yes.
These are challenging. Give it a shot.
Okay.
All right, have a great day. How you feeling?
Good.
Excellent. You sound a lot better than yesterday. You were very sleepy yesterday.
I was.
All right, have a great day.
You too. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.